everyone, welcome back to another episode of Fitness Frenzy. I'm Coach Abby and I hope you're ready to have some fun with our exercises. Let's get started.
My name is Pam Bryden. I'm a professor in Kinesiology and Physical Education, and I am the director of the Sun Life Center for Physically Active Communities. My role in this project was as a thesis committee member on Abby's master's thesis, and then as the director by taking the research that Abbey did and translating that into the real world.
My name is Abbey Broad. I'm currently a Bachelor of Education student here at Laurier. I graduated with my Master's of Kinesiology in 2020. And my role in the project was as primary investigator for my master's thesis and as Coach Abby in the videos.
In March 2020, when the pandemic hit, and we are a center that does primarily outreach with kids in schools, we were no longer able to actually do the kind of work that we're used to doing. And so I took over as director at that point, and we needed to think about a way to reach kids, to get them physically active, but without actually getting into the schools. And I just finished working with Abbey on her thesis and she just defended. So it seemed like a no-brainer.
So those physical activity breaks were the piece that we took out of my thesis project to then implement into this physical resource that we created with the Sun Life Center.
And Abbey found such great results from giving those physical classroom activity breaks to the kids that it was clear that there was a positive effect in doing it. It wasn't just about being physically active, but there were other positive benefits to it, that it was clear we needed to bring that to the community.
Overall, we saw an increase in on-task behavior after a physical activity break and consequently a decrease in off-task behavior following the activity break. So in the morning, if we did a physical activity break, there was a decrease in off-task motor behavior. So things like fidgeting or walking around the classroom, bouncing around in their seat, anything like that. Whereas in the afternoon, when we did an activity break, off-task passive behavior was reduced. So that's when students would be sitting in their chairs, kind of staring off into space or being distracted. So they didn't have as much of that in the afternoon after a physical activity break. I have teachers that are teaching in person and they've used them in the classroom and say that they're great. The students are asking to do more of them. They're asking to repeat some of the videos. They have their favorites, as well as some teachers that I have teaching online have used them as well, and the feedback was amazing. They loved it.
And I've had the opportunity to speak to more administrator types at the school board, and we're getting that same kind of response. The role of CPAC has always been to take that research that people in kinesiology and health and psychology are doing and translate that and bring it out to the public so that it is in a digestible form rather than in those sometimes dry academic papers that we publish, because they can get hidden really, really quickly if we don't take the time to translate those into something that the public can consume.
Merging that science and taking that science and creating something that's tangible and accessible for the community is a big piece in increasing that scientific uptake. They might not know that they're getting the science, but they're getting the product of the science.